Rolex produces over 1 million watches a year, yet every single authorized store is famously empty. This isn't an accident of supply and demand. It's a calculated strategy, a masterclass in manufactured desire, and today we're pulling back the curtain to show you exactly how Rolex engineered the hype you fell for. If you appreciate the real story behind luxury, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. The paradox of Rolex is simple. How can a brand that produces an estimated 1.2 million timepieces a year, more than 15 times the output of Patek Philippe or Audemars Piguet, create an experience of extreme scarcity? The answer is that Rolex isn't just in the business of making watches, it's in the business of controlling access to them. It all started with a foundation of undeniable proof. In the early 20th century, wristwatches were seen as fragile accessories. Founder Hans Wilsdorf knew that to be credible, his watches first had to be tools. In 1926, he patented the Oyster, the world's first truly waterproof case. A year later, he put it to the test. He strapped an oyster to the wrist of Mercedes Gleitzer as she attempted to swim the English Channel. 10 hours in frigid water, and the watch worked perfectly. Wilsdorf took out a full front-page ad in London's Daily Mail to announce its success. He built a contract of trust with the public, the belief that a Rolex is, above all, a reliable high-performance instrument. With that trust established, the company made a masterful pivot. A 1966 memo from their ad agency, J. Walter Thompson, laid out the new strategy. Stop selling what the watch can do, and start selling who you can become when you wear it. The focus shifted from public trials to a curated pantheon of success they called Testimonees. It began with legends like golfer Arnold Palmer and racing driver Sir Jackie Stewart. Later, it expanded to titans like Roger Federer and Tiger Woods. These weren't just famous faces, they were embodiments of achievement. The message was clear: a Rolex is the accessory for someone who has already made it. The brand then embedded itself in the arenas of achievement, becoming the official timekeeper for Wimbledon, the Masters, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The Rolex logo became a symbol of authority, not just an advertisement. This is where the marketing brilliance meets the cold, hard mechanics of hype. The empty display cases you see are the result of a strategy best described as managed scarcity. The goal isn't to make all watches scarce, but to create a famine for the most iconic steel sports models, the Daytona, the Submariner, the GMT Master II, to stimulate a desperate desire for the entire catalogue. Rolex outsources this entire process to its network of authorized dealers, or ADS. This creates a buffer allowing Rolex Corporate to maintain an image of fairness while the ADS act as gatekeepers. The infamous waiting list is a myth. It's not a first-come, first-served queue. It's a VIP list, an opaque system where dealers prioritize their most valued customers. Access is granted based on unspoken rules. First, your purchase history. Clients who spend big on less popular watches or high-margin jewelry get top priority. It's called bundling, and it uses your desire for a steel sports watch as leverage. Second, the relationship. You're expected to visit, express interest, and play the long game. This entire quest is known as the AD game, and its difficulty is a core feature, not a flaw. Psychologists call it effort justification. The harder something is to get, the more you value it when you finally do. This scarcity machine feeds a massive secondary or grey market, where the hype is validated with cold, hard cash. This is where a stainless steel Daytona with a retail price of around $16,000 can command a price of $37,000, a premium of 131%. This price difference is the most powerful free marketing on earth. It screams to the world that these watches are assets, investments that appreciate the second you walk out of the store. This isn't financial advice, but it is a core part of the intoxicating narrative. And where does the inventory of new watches on the grey market come from? Evidence points to a robust pipeline between some authorized dealers and grey market resellers, bypassing genuine customers to capture those massive premiums. So how can Rolex get away with playing this multi-decade-long game? The secret weapon is its ownership structure. Rolex is 100% owned by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a private, non-profit trust. This means Rolex has no shareholders to answer to. There are no quarterly earnings reports demanding they cash in on the hype by flooding the market. A public company would be legally obligated to maximize short-term profits. Rolex's foundation is tasked with preserving the brand's legacy forever. It is the structural moat that protects the entire strategy, allowing the company to prioritize long-term brand equity over immediate revenue. So let's be clear, the hype is not an accident. It's a perfectly integrated system. It starts with a product of unimpeachable quality. That product is transformed into a symbol of success through aspirational marketing. That aspiration is then funneled through a bottleneck of controlled scarcity, and the resulting secondary market prices scream its desirability to the world, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of hype. The entire system is protected by a unique corporate structure that insulates it from short-term market pressures. You didn't just fall for a marketing trick, you witnessed one of the most successful and sustained brand strategies ever created. Now that you know how the machine works, here's the question. Does this deliberate, engineered scarcity make you want a Rolex more, or does it turn you off completely? Let me know in the comments below.